Picture the biggest dog you've ever seen, a Great Dane, a Mastiff, maybe a wolf in a nature documentary. Now picture a tiger, 3 times the weight, twice the bite force, built like a machine designed for one purpose. Here's the strange part. Cats and dogs came from the exact same ancestor. Millions of years ago, one single animal split into two branches. One branch became lions, tigers, leopards, jaguars, giants, killers, some weighing more than 3 grown men combined. The other branch became wolves, foxes, wild dogs, and not one of them ever got that big. Not one. Most people assume it's just random, a coin flip of evolution. But that's not quite right. There is an actual reason, a hidden rule written into biology itself, and once you see it, you'll never look at a stray cat or your own pet dog the same way again. Scientists have a name for it. They call it the hunting strategy trade-off, and by the end of this, you'll realize this isn't really a story about animals. It's a story about you. Stay till the end. The last part will change how you think about the choices you make every single day. So let's go back 42 million years. One creature, small, sharp-toothed, the great-great-grandparent of every cat and every dog alive today. Then it split. Why? Because two totally different survival strategies opened up, and an animal can only master one. Strategy number 1, ambush, get close, stay hidden, explode with one burst of speed, kill fast. Strategy number 2, pursuit, don't hide at all, just chase, for miles. Until the prey collapses from exhaustion. Cats picked ambush, dogs picked pursuit, and that single decision, made millions of years ago, decided everything that came after. Now imagine you're the tiger instead. You're lying flat in tall grass, completely silent, completely still. For 20 minutes, you don't move a single muscle. A deer wanders closer, 10 feet, 8 feet, 5, and then, in less than 2 seconds, it's over. One explosive lunge, one bite to the throat, no chase, no exhaustion, no teamwork required, just raw, concentrated force, unleashed at exactly the right moment. That's the entire strategy, and it only works if you're strong enough to end the fight instantly. Here's where it gets interesting. Ambush hunting reward size. A bigger cat can knock down bigger prey in one hit. Muscle mass means more force in that first pounce, so natural selection kept pushing cats bigger and bigger. Tigers, lions, jaguars. Even prehistoric giants like the saber-toothed cat and the American lion, an animal that may have topped 500 pounds. Size was never a problem for an ambush predator. Size was the whole plan. But pursuit hunting works completely differently, and this is the part almost nobody realizes. When you chase something for miles instead of pouncing on it, size becomes a curse. A bigger body needs more oxygen, more fuel, more cooling. A big body overheats faster during a long chase. So the biggest wild dog alive today, the wolf, tops out at around 130 pounds. Compare that to a tiger, which can pass 660 pounds. That's not a small gap. That's an entire different category of animal. And the reason isn't strength, the reason is math. Running is expensive, and an endurance hunter who's too big simply runs out of gas before the prey does. Picture it for a second. You're a wolf. It's freezing. You haven't eaten in 3 days. Ahead of you, across an open plain with nowhere to hide, stands an elk twice your size. You can't sneak up on it. There's no cover, no shadows, no ambush option at all. If you were alone, you'd starve. So what do? You don't rely on size. You rely on numbers. 5 more wolves fall in beside you. You spread out. You take turns pushing the elk forward, wearing it down mile after mile until its legs finally give out from pure exhaustion. That's not brute strength. That's a coordinated, communicating, endurance-built machine made of 6 separate bodies acting as one. So what did dogs do instead of getting bigger? They got smarter about teamwork. A wolf alone can't take down an elk, but a pack working together can bring down an animal many times their size. That's the trade dogs made. They gave up individual size, and in exchange they gained coordination, communication. Social bonds so strong that a wolf pack starts to function almost like a single organism with 6 or 7 bodies. But that's only half the story. Now, here's a twist that flips the whole story. If dogs stayed small on purpose, why do Great Danes and Mastiffs exist? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Those giant dogs are not natural, they're man-made. Humans took small, medium-sized wolves and dogs and selectively bred them generation after generation for size. It took thousands of years of human interference to build a dog as big as a small pony. Nature never did that on its own. Nature only ever produces big dogs through us. Picture the biggest dog you've ever seen, a Great Dane, a Moss. Meanwhile, cats never needed us at all. Tigers, lions, jaguars, they got massive completely on their own, purely through natural selection with zero human involvement. Which means the big dog you picture in your head, the St. Bernard, the Great Dane, isn't proof that dogs can get big naturally. It's proof of the opposite. It's a monument to how hard humans had to work to override millions of years of biological math. And even with all our breeding, all our selective pairing, all our effort, we still never got a dog anywhere close to a tiger's weight. We couldn't out-engineer 42 million years of evolution, not even close. So what did nature build instead when it wanted a massive relative of the dog? But here's what's fascinating. There's actually a big dog hiding in plain sight. And it's not a dog at all, technically. Bears, grizzlies, polar bears. Bears split off from the same broader group as dogs millions of years ago, and bears use a completely different survival math. They're not endurance hunters chasing prey for miles. They're omnivores. They eat plants, fish, garbage, anything. And when your body doesn't depend on a long, exhausting chase, size stops being a liability. So a grizzly can weigh 800 pounds and it's not fighting its own biology to survive. In a strange way, the big dog you were picturing already exists. It's just wearing a bear costume. But wait, there's one cat that breaks its own rule: lions. Almost every other big cat hunts completely alone, but lions live in prides. They hunt in groups, which sounds a lot like the wolf strategy, not the tiger strategy. So why? Because lions live somewhere different: open grassland, very little cover, nowhere to hide for a perfect ambush. So they borrowed a page from the pursuit playbook: teamwork, coordination, numbers. Except they kept their size too, which makes lions a kind of hybrid predator, part ambush killer, part team hunter. Proof that even the rules of ambush versus pursuit aren't fixed in stone. They bend depending on the environment an animal is thrown into. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If a lion can blend both strategies depending on its surroundings, what's actually stopping the rest of us from doing the same? So what does any of this actually have to do with you? Here's the connection almost nobody makes. You live your entire life choosing between these exact two strategies: ambush or pursuit. Go all in right now on one big explosive effort, or play the long game, spread out over years, relying on teamwork and patience instead of raw force. Some people build their whole life like a tiger: one big swing, one huge bet, all their strength concentrated into a single moment, a single opportunity, a single pounce. And when it works spectacularly. But when it misses, there's no second wind, no backup plan. Ambush predators don't get many tries. Other people build their life like a wolf: smaller moves, slower progress, but relentless, sustained, powered by relationships, teamwork, other people pulling alongside them. A wolf alone starves. A wolf in a pack can take down something enormous. Multiplied by the group, small becomes powerful in a completely different way than size ever could. And here's the detail that should genuinely unsettle you. Evolution locked animals into one strategy forever. A cat can never suddenly decide to switch to pack hunting. A wolf can never simply decide to double its body weight overnight. Their strategy was chosen for them millions of years ago by ancestors they never met, and they're stuck with the consequences for the rest of their species' existence. You are not stuck. That's the part that should hit different. You can be an ambush predator on Monday and a pursuit hunter by Friday. You can go all in on one enormous swing, and if it fails, you can rebuild slowly with help over years. the way a wolf pack rebuilds after a bad season. No other species on Earth gets to switch strategies mid-life. You do. Think about that tiger one more time, alone in the grass. One shot. No pack to fall back on if it misses. And think about the wolf, never as strong alone, but never truly alone either. Two completely different bets on how to survive a hostile world, and 42 million years later, both of them are still here. Neither strategy was wrong. That's the part evolution actually proves. Size wasn't the goal, survival was, and there was more than one way to get there. Every single day, you're making a version of the same choice a tiger and a wolf made 42 million years ago. Bet everything on one moment, or build something slower together that outlasts any single moment. Most people never even realize they're making that choice at all. The tiger doesn't know it chose solitude. The wolf doesn't know it chose the pack. But you know. You can feel yourself deciding, right now, which kind of predator you're going to be today.